Let's talk about a very fun arm balance, which is known as 8-angle pose or Ashtavakrasana. This is fun because you're very close to the floor, so you don't have to be afraid of falling onto your face. If there's a face plant happening, it won't hurt. It's really easy once you get a hang of it, and it just requires a little bit of external hip flexibility and knowing how to enter this pose. This tutorial is meant to be a follow-along tutorial, so you can just hop on your mat and practice with me. I'll do both sides and show you preps, or you can just watch and enjoy. Let's start on our mats in a lunge. So let's start with right foot forward and left knee back down towards the floor. You can fold your mat double or place a blanket underneath your knees to support your knee. And now we want to go for a hip stretch, and that's why we need both hands on the inside of front leg. So slowly use your foot, ball of the foot and heel to walk your foot away. Now turn your foot so that your toes are looking away from you. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and maybe come onto your fingertips in order to stretch a bit. So we're inhaling, using our glutes to push our hips forward. Inhale. And exhale, slowly pulling ourselves back to stretch the back of the front leg. 2 more times. Inhale, reach chest forward, engage glutes, stretch your iliopsoas. And exhale, pull back. Let's do one more. Inhale, take your time. And exhale, pull back. Okay, now come forward and stay here. So we want to go into this compression pose because we need, for Ashtavakrasana, we need this shoulder underneath the knee. So we're trying to get as low as we can towards the floor so that we can increase this openness in the hips. And you can still engage the left glute, and we'll stay for about 30 seconds here. You can slowly start to lower your elbows down. Maybe, now you cannot see, so now you can see both hands. Maybe both hands towards the floor. And you're trying to avoid rounding your back like this. You're trying constantly to pull your chest forward, lengthen your spine. Stay for another 10 seconds. Three more seconds. Okay, come back onto your hands. This hand on the inside if your mat is folded, foot on the inside. Push back into a downward facing dog and just gently shake your legs out. And let's do the other side. So left leg forward, right knee down. Maybe folding this mat over. And here with the back foot, you can either keep your toes tucked or top of the foot flat. This depends on the feeling in the knee. So my knee prefers if I tuck my toes under. Now I want my hands on the insides, and to create space for this, I walk my left foot towards the outside. Stay here. Already try to engage your right glute. So I'm using my buttocks to push myself forward. Inhale here, maybe come onto fingertips. And exhale, pull yourself back to just gently stretch the back of front leg. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale, pull back. Let's do one more. Inhale forward. And exhale, pull back. Okay. Now come back forward, and now we're trying to go closer towards the floor. We're trying to bend our elbows back, so don't bend them to the sides, and maybe you can arrive or use 2 blocks for your elbows to elevate the floor a bit so you're in the middle, so you're not on your hands and not directly on the floor. And stay for about 30 seconds here. Keep breathing, pulling shoulders back, trying to lengthen. My back wants to do this, and I'm trying to give it more length, more space in order to keep it safe and to enter this stretch with a long spine. Another 10 seconds. Good, and slowly release. Allow this mat to open up, push back into a gentle down dog, shake it, and come down towards the floor, sit down. And we're starting to work on our final pose, which is 8-angle pose. So I'm gonna mirror to make it easier for you. You take your right leg and go for a rock your baby. So you're trying to place the foot into your elbow pit or elbow crease, and you're rocking from side to side. This is also a hip stretch. So we're opening up our hips. If, for example, half pigeon is easy for you, then this will be a piece of cake. Let's do another 10 seconds here. Rocking, rocking. Okay, and now let's look at the steps that we need for our 8-angle arm balance. We need to use our leg as tongs. So we need to use it as a tool because we're not allowed to allow the leg to slide down. So we don't want this to happen. So we want this knee to stay as high as possible towards my shoulder. Now I'm squeezing this lower leg into my arm to create this new bandha. So I'm locking this leg there. Now this knee comes up, your left knee, my left hand comes down. Now we have 2 steps. We want to cross the feet and you need a little bit of a hop. So don't allow your hands to be very wide apart. This will make it harder. Keep them about maybe a little wider than shoulder width apart. Cross feet, still squeezing the right leg into your arm. Now we have a hop. So I'm leaning forward, pushing into the floor, and my hips are off the floor. Now I'm squeezing my legs together. Look to the side, extend the legs, and I'm in Ashtavakrasana. Hold, and release, come back to center. Did you make it? I hope so. Well done. Let's do the other side. Now take your left lower leg and circle. If you're still struggling with this, don't worry. It takes a couple of reps, a couple of times to try this. So if it didn't work today, maybe try it again in 2 weeks and see what happens. You need a couple of repetitions, especially, for example, handstands. It took me thousands of reps to finally get into this straight line. So another 10 seconds of rocking your baby. And if you feel like, okay, there is some tightness deep in your left buttocks, then try to allow it. Allow the stretch. Sometimes we're holding something we don't need. And now let's go for our arm balance. We need the knee as high as possible. Hand down and squeeze. Knee up, hand down, cross feet. Now for the hop, I'm leaning forward, pushing into the floor to lift my buttocks, squeezing legs together, and leaning over to forward in order to extend my legs to the side. Hold, maybe look forward, and come back. Good, well done. If you want to repeat these steps, do them again on both sides, and well done if you made it, and see you in the next tutorial.